Hello students, welcome you all to a new video of Sunanda's tutorial. In this video we will discuss about the life cycle of Lycopodium. Okay, Lycopodium or club moth. So it is commonly known as club moth, and the whole life cycle alternates between two main stages. One, leafy diploid sporophyte phase and tiny haploid gametophyte phase. The main plant body is sporophytic in nature. The visible green plant is the dominant sporophytic stage, which reproduces using a single type of tiny spores. Okay, so the dominant phase of Lycopodium and the whole pteridophyte is diploid sporophytic stage. Now let's discuss the dominant or sporophytic phase. What are the key morphological features of this dominant phase? Primary root is very short-lived. The plant is anchored by adventitious roots, which are the additional roots, emerge along the underside of creeping stem and branch dichotomously. Next, stem. The stem is slender, that means very weak, solid. It is not hollow, it is solid and typically exhibit dichotomous branching. Okay, and that means two branches formed from one, and two branches formed as a result of dichotomy. That means one from one stem, two branches arises like this, dichotomously branched. Depending on the species, because there are different and many species belongs to the genus Lycopodium. Depending on the species, the stem can be prostrate, that means horizontally creeping rhizome, or upright or erect like this. Then leaves are called as microphyls, that means very small in size. Sessile, they do not have any stalk. Thin, very thin, with a single on-branched mid-vein. Generally our angiospermic leaves have vein, mid-vein and veinlets, but this Lycopodium species do not have any veinlet, they only have mid-vein. They are entirely devoid of ligule. So some pteridophytes have ligule, that means small extension at the base of the leaf, but this Lycopodium lack ligule. Leaf arrangement can be spiral. They can be spirally arranged on the stem, whorled or decussate. Okay, next. So this is the sporophytic plant body, the diagrammatic representation of sporophytic plant body. These are small leaves, strobili. Strobili means it is the sporangium, group of sporangium or cone. Okay. Then horizontal stem called rhizome, root. Next, anatomy of stem. So Lycopodium stems exhibit very simple yet highly primitive vascular anatomy, adaptive primitive vascular anatomy. So the TS reveals three primary zone: epidermis, cortex and central proctostele. So proctostele is the very basic type of stellar structure or stellar arrangement. So basically the stellar region, stele is the central part of Lycopodium stem. So some species of Lycopodium shows actinostele. Actinostele means central proctostele with radiating arms. Okay, called actinostele. Xylem is arranged in a star-shaped or ribbed core with phloem situated in the groove or radiating arms. That is called actinostelic condition, where the xylem is arranged like this and phloem are placed like this. Okay, this is actinostelic condition. Some species show plectostelic condition, where xylem bands are placed like plates. Some shows mixed proctostele, where xylem is broken into isolated groups and interspersed or distributed throughout the phloem. So these are different types of stele present in different species of Lycopodium. Next, Lycopodium leaves, these are very small, called microphyles or microphyls with single midvein. They lack ligule and have simple, highly conserved internal architecture designed to maximize photosynthetic efficiency while preventing the water loss. They prevent water loss as well as they are designed to maximize the rate of photosynthesis. What is the anatomy? So the anatomy or cross section reveals three primary layers: epidermis, which is covered by cuticle. Many stomata are present. Stomata are present on both upper and lower surface. So the stomata here in Lycopodium is called amphistomatous. A few species shows hypostomatous condition, that means stomata confined only to the lower surface. Okay, next, mesophyll. Mesophyll is relatively uniform and is not differentiated into palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. So below the epidermis, mesophyll tissues are present. Okay, it consists of loosely packed, almost spherical chlorophyllous cell filled with chloroplast. These cells often have irregular lobes and inward folds to maximize the surface area available for photosynthesis. Next, vascular bundle. The midvein only have the vascular bundle. The center running directly down the center of leaf is single concentric vascular bundle. Concentric vascular bundle means where xylem and phloems are arranged in concentric manner, in ring-like manner. Then xylem, it is the center of the bundle containing xylem consisting of tracheids for water transportation. Phloem, the xylem is completely surrounded by a layer of phloem, okay, like this, and which helps in the transportation of sugar and nutrients. Then bundle sheath, the entire vascular bundle is encased in a distinct bundle sheath layer that helps to regulate the transportation of water and nutrients between vascular tissue and mesophyll cells. Okay, next, the internal anatomy of root. So the transverse section of root shows the root can be divided into three main tissue zones: the epidermis, the cortex, and the vascular cylinder called stele. The center of root contains vascular tissue used for transportation of water and nutrients from soil to the stem. So Lycopodium root has protostele, means solid core of vascular tissue with no central pith. The design changes depending on how old the root is and what species it belongs to. Generally the arrangement is monarch, that means one vascular bundle is present, but sometimes many vascular bundles are present. That condition is called as polyarch. Young roots usually starts as monarch, that means with single vascular bundle, while older roots become diarch, sometimes tetrarch, sometimes more than that, pentarch, hexarch. Then xylem is exarch, meaning younger cells or protoxylem or newly formed xylem face outside and mature cells or xylem cells sit on inside. Okay, shape, the xylem forms either C or U shaped, okay, or a crescent shape. In creeping species, the xylem forms multiple radiating plates called polyarch. The phloem tissue does not form a ring. It sits tucked neatly between arms or opening spaces of xylem masses. So in between xylem, phloems are placed. Okay. Next, what is strobili or single called strobilus? It is compact cone-like reproductive structure found at the tip of the matured club moss stem. It is made up of central axis tightly packed with specialized leaves called sporophylls. Okay, called sporophylls, and each sporophylls bears a single sporangium that produces thousands of spore for asexual reproduction. So here it is, the sporophyll containing one sporangium, and that sporangium which bears thousands of spores. Next, the strobilus structure features specific component, one central axis. Sporophyll, these are leaves arranged spirally around the axis. These are modified leaves. Then sporangium, suppose this is the leaf and sporangium is placed here at the base and at the adaxial surface or upper surface of sporophyll. Okay, next, spores. Lycopodium is homosporous, that means it can produce only one type of spore. Then so with this, the sporophytic phase ends. Now the gametophytic phase. So from sporangium, after maturation, many spores release and land on a suitable substratum. After its attachment at the substratum, they germinate and form prothallus, young prothallus. Then fungal partnership, because it usually lives in the dark, lacks green chlorophyll, it relies on helpful mycorrhizal fungi for their food and nutrient. So at prothallus stage, some Lycopodium species show fungal partnership, or they show mutual relationship with fungus, mycorrhizal fungi. Then sex organs, the prothallus is monoecious, that means it can carry both male and female part. The male part is called antheridia and female sex organ is called archegonia. Okay, so this gametophytic phase, this prothallus of Lycopodium can be of three types. Some species shows Surnum type of prothallus, which is very small, erect, partially above ground structure with green lobed aerial photosynthetic crown and colorless subterranean base that associates with mycorrhizal fungi. Okay, so this is the diagrammatic representation of Surnum type of prothallus. Next one is Clavatum type, which shows which is a completely subterranean tuber-like colorless prothallus. It completely dependent on the endophytic mycorrhizal fungi for their nutrition. So this type of prothallus is observed in Lycopodium clavatum. Okay. Then Phlegmaria type, which is epiphytic species and observed in Lycopodium phlegmaria. It is highly branched structure, elongated saprophytic structure which lack chlorophyll and grows entirely on the bark of the tree. Okay, so this is the diagrammatic representation of Phlegmaria type of prothallus. Next, now the fertilization. So the matured prothallus contains antheridium as well as archegonium. So after their maturation, the fertilization takes place. Aquatic species require water, terrestrial species require dew or raindrops for fertilization. Sperms swim near the archegonia, and finally by entering inside the archegonia, they fertilize the egg cell and form diploid zygote again. That diploid zygote develops to form embryo, and embryo preliminarily dependent on the gametophytic plant for their nutrition. But after some times, after their maturation, they detach from the parent plant and by growing their own green leaves and roots and become a brand new independent Lycopodium plant. So with this, the whole life cycle of Lycopodium species ends, and it is the graphic representation of life cycle of Lycopodium. So the Lycopodium sporophyte, which is diploid, then they produce strobilus, which is again diploid structure, then sporangia, which is again diploid, then spore mother cells which shows meiosis or reductional division to produce spores, Then spore germinate to produce prothallus. Prothallus develop antheridia and archegonia. Archegonia produce egg cell and antheridia produce sperms. Then after fertilization they produce zygote or oospore. Oospore or zygote develop to form embryo. Then embryo develop to form young sporophyte. Then finally the whole developed sporophytic Lycopodium plant. So it is the whole life cycle of Lycopodium. I hope this video will be helpful for you, and if you liked it, please hit the like button, share with your other friends, and please subscribe to my channel Sunanda's Tutorial. Thank you.